From the SF Standard, they say, rumors of San Francisco's demise have been greatly exaggerated, and here's the proof. So they have, 45 seconds of B-roll with no junkies in it, and that's supposed to be proof that the city is thriving? I don't know about that. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because the algorithm is a beast, and it would help me a lot if you engage with the content. It would help me even more if you wanted to buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description. But here, they're telling you that, oh, no, it's greatly exaggerated. And that's still them even being nice. Like, yeah, there's a problem. But people are making it out to be worse than it really is. Even though the mayor, as corrupt and terrible as she is, right? I was at the nightclub partying at Tony.
I had a good time at the Black Cat. And I think it's sad that this is even a story. The fact is, there was something that was really monumental that occurred. And that is Tony, the original members, the brothers, Raphael Sadiq and Dwayne Wiggins, who have not performed in public for, I believe, at least over 20 years. They are just really some of the most incredible artists in the history of this country and the Bay Area in particular.
That's a different story. But even she knows that it's all bad. And in her trying to, win re-election, she is pretending that they're going to put it back together. But this is from the SF Standard, and they're letting you know it's just not that bad. Yellowstone Galleria, right? That's clear across the city from the downtown mall that is quite literally hemorrhaging retailers. Look at that. Oh, no bums in this footage. No needles, no poop, no tents in this footage. That must mean that it's doing okay. Well, it's not happening to me, so I guess it's all right, even though it quite literally happened to the mayor of Los Angeles. Her house got broken into twice, and Adam Schiff's car got broken into in San Francisco. And how could I forget, Mayor Shang Tao had her car broken into outside of a movie theater in Oakland. So is that exaggerating? Right? What constitutes as an exaggeration? But that aside, here is a news clip from CBS shared by San Francisco Mayor London Breed. She says, "The work happening every day on our streets is hard, demanding, and oftentimes goes unthanked. But our city workers continue to be out there every day taking care of San Francisco. This story shows the dedication, diligence, and compassion that city encampment teams bring to this critical work." And, right, this woman, for anybody who doesn't know, was quite literally dating the FBI indicted former Department of Public Works head, whose job it was to clean the needles and the poop and the tents, but he didn't do it. He gave her, some gifts to get her car fixed, even though she's the highest paid mayor in the country. And she's even acknowledging that it's all bad, but the SF Standard wants you to think that, oh, well, no, it's actually pretty good. She goes on, they're cleaning up in neighborhoods and helping people move indoors. When we talk about street homelessness being down and a 41% reduction in our tent count, and you like that? How tent count really has very little to do with actual homeless people. It's because these workers on our streets and our staff and partners running shelters and housing programs where we've added more places for people to go. I am grateful, and I know so many people in our city are as well for the workers highlighted in this story, and all those who are dedicated to making San Francisco healthier, safer, and cleaner for all. Yeah, right, lady.
How far government agencies can go to enforce these camping bans is really an issue that's currently before the Supreme Court. San Francisco city leaders have been fighting for the right to clear out these camps as a matter of health and also safety.
And imagine that the completely corrupt regime in San Francisco apparently has been fighting to get rid of encampments. I mean, think about how backwards this is. There's so many levels to this nonsense.
Levels. Levels. Huh?
Lauren Toms went along with a man who's in charge of cleaning up these encampments. It is a job, he admits.
That used to be Mohammed Nuru's job, right? Who, of course, was embezzling funds and getting kickbacks and giving money to the mayor. That same guy?
Few people would want.
But before I go any further, they also want you to know that anybody who tries to take them down will be, guilty of a crime for not disclosing, everything from their first, last name, job history, full, medical reports. That is illegal. But it's also illegal to remove the tents. And this is why it's never going to get better. And look, I wish that this machine would roll over, because a lot of people don't want it, quite obviously. But they are never going to stop.
Well, Lauren got to see just how these crews try to approach the difficult task of throwing out someone's possessions with dignity, and an example of the best case outcome.
But we just saw that it's really not that bad. The SF Standard had B-roll of some people walking through the city in an old school car.
This encampment in the Mission is about to be torn down. And while to most people it may look like another case of cardboard boxes being used by unhoused people to camp out, to Daryl...
They're constantly saying unhoused, right? They want to change everything, because if they can change the words, they can change your thoughts and they can change your actions.
Dilworth, it's a clear sign of improvement.
6 months ago, both sides of the streets was lined with structures like the one that you see up ahead, and tents.
It's a daunting task and one of the least desirable jobs in the city. The smells alone would turn off most instantly, but Dilworth sees his worth in the process.
And they're doing work that other workers throughout the city, they refuse to do because it's so tedious. You're dealing with hazardous materials.
Because the politicians let it spiral out of control. They didn't let it spiral out of control. They purposely fueled this demise.
You're dealing with human feces, you're dealing with urine, you're dealing with unknown substances, needles, and not many city employees really want to deal with that.
A native San Franciscan, he's on a mission to not only restore the city's streets to the beauty beneath, but provide dignity to the process. That hasn't always been the case.
They would just come and tell you get out and you just throw all your there, just...
Yeah, and you should be so lucky. You were lucky they didn't throw you in jail.
Like, no respect, no communication. We were like at war with them.
The encampment being cleared here belonged to John DeBella. He spent most of his life unhoused in the Mission, but today accepted housing offered by part of the multi-agency team tasked with clearing the area. This process of clearing encampments has seen a huge overhaul in the last 5 years, but remains a controversial process at the center of a Supreme Court battle over who can legally live on the street.
As long as they respect us, then we respect them, and we just clean up real quick and go. And if we have to, we'll just come back later or something.
Rewind 72 hours ago, and flyers like these were being posted alerting those in the area when this cleaning would take place. But each experience is unique, Dilworth says. Here, an individual with mental illness is resistant to the process, an encounter that's becoming more common as they carefully comb through items both cherished and soiled.
These are the times when we get blamed for taking personal items, and this would be the...
Yeah, they have, and, back in my younger years, I was pretty well versed in the world of graffiti in San Francisco. And of course, you get pinched and you do some community service and you paint over other graffiti. And I remember many years ago being yelled out of an alleyway by some bums. We're trying to clean it up. There's other clips of Fog City Midge, shout out to Midge, right? Where the people are, I make the joke that this is like a raccoon guarding garbage on trash day, but they are quite literally going into San Francisco, cleaning up trash, human waste, all sorts of stuff, and they get yelled down. Sort of like I did when I was painting over other graffiti and then having the homeless population come in and basically treat it like it's their living room, like, why the hell are you here? But that's how backwards things are.
Personal items that they're talking about that we're throwing away, stuff that we deemed unsalvageable. Like I said, soil with feces, and obviously he's been there for quite a while.
This situation was on the verge of escalating, but quickly dampened when a firefighter steps in.
I'm gonna make some phone calls and I'm gonna see if we can get you in a better spot, okay?
The man accepted housing and services.
Okay, so that's all you have to do. It should be a strung out junkie self-vaccinating on the sidewalk in a tent, and then these people are going to come around and they'll be really nice to you and get you a free house and free booze.
Test of how this process is intended to work, in a rare case of added red tape having a positive effect.
A rare case of added red tape having a positive effect. I guess. I mean, the red tape is far from rare, and I highly doubt there are any positive effects. It's too late, right? It's just too late. You got to start over. If they did everything right yesterday, it would still take a decade.
It makes me feel happy because we're making positive progress. We're not just moving individuals. We're offering them services. We're offering them a chance to get out of their situation into a better situation. And it gives us an opportunity in the process to actually clean and sanitize the streets as well.
Tossing soiled items and policies behind to make room for cleaner times ahead.
Just yesterday, San Francisco released its latest point-in-time homeless count. So it showed overall homelessness was up 7% from 2 years ago. But the number of unsheltered people living on the streets or in tents dropped 13%. How far?
Says who, right? All those numbers have to be called into question because these people clearly cannot be trusted. And, we're gonna give them services, and we know that doesn't work. We know that the not-for-profits, right, the NGOs, are completely scamming the entire population of the city. And look, I'm not against, compassionate care and getting down on one knee and talking to these people.
Josh Hayes and Cora Schutz are a unique kind of first responders.
We would call them beforehand, let them know that you're coming in.
They're one of the teams with the Mobile Assistance Community Responders of Oakland, known as MACRO, the street teams responding to nonviolent, non-emergency situations using compassion to meet people where they're at.
Sure, that might have worked 20 years ago, but you guys have run roughshod. So now you all get put into one box, right? Put them in the bin and get rid of them. It's kind of like the illegals. Well, yeah, we have the illegals from 1990 who work in the kitchen or the landscaping company, or maybe they even opened a restaurant with their son or daughter, and DACA recipients, all that stuff. But now you have these completely violent criminals coming over and destroying America, beating up cops, eliminating humans, most notably in was it Athens, Georgia. But my point here is, yeah, it sounds all well and good, and I'm not against treating people with kindness and compassion, but we've run out of our patience.